Icing for butter pecan cake is really easy to make. Even you have the basic skills in cake decorating to achieve this delectable dessert. Imagine a cake bursting with buttery flavors that can easily impress anyone. Not only that, but also a traditional moist white cake with brown butter and crunchy toasted pecans. Besides that, iced with a rich buttercream frosting. Moreover, it has splendid buttercream icing between each layer of homemade butter pecan cake. And the pecan browned by butter will indeed excite your taste buds. In addition to that, your guests will love the different textures and flavors of this cake. What you will need. Ingredients for the cake: 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 1/3 cups of chopped pecans, 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2/3 cup of softened butter, 1 1/2 cups of granulated sugar, 2 pieces of large eggs placed at room temperature, 1 1/2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1 cup of whole milk. For the butter pecan frosting: 1/4 cup of softened butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. For cups of powdered sugar divided into 2, 5 tablespoons of whole milk. Step-by-step instructions for the butter pecan cake. Step 1. Place a non-stick pan over the stove on medium-high heat and melt 3 tablespoons of butter. Then, add the chopped pecans. Afterward, cook for about 4 to 6 minutes and stir it often until pecans look toasted. Remove toasted pecans from the pan and the heat and let it cool. Step 2. After that, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Make sure to grease and lightly dust with flour the 2 8-inch round cake pans. Afterward, set aside. Step 3. Next, stir together the baking powder, flour, and salt in a medium-sized bowl and set it aside. Then, using an electric mixer, beat the 2/3 cup of softened butter on medium-high speed for about 30 seconds. Step 4. After that, gradually reduce the speed to medium and add the sugar gradually until everything combines well. Don't forget to scrape the bowl's sides. Afterward, beat for another 2 minutes. Step 5. Then, add the vanilla and 1 piece of egg to the mixture and beat until combined. Afterward, fold in 1 cup of toasted pecans using a rubber spatula. Next, pour the cake batter evenly between 2 cake pans. Step 6. After that, bake the cake batter for 30 to 35 minutes until the cake cooks through. Step 7. Finally, please take out the cake pans from the oven and let them cool for about 10 to 15 minutes. Likewise, please take out the cakes from the pans and cool them on a wire rack at room temperature. For the butter pecan frosting. Step 1. Before anything else, beat the butter and vanilla to medium-high until it becomes light and fluffy using an electric mixer. Step 2. Then, gradually reduce the speed to low and beat in 2 cups of powdered sugar. Step 3. Afterward, beat in 3 tablespoons of milk. Then, gently beat in the powdered sugar and milk until you achieve your desired consistency. How to assemble the cake. Step 1. First and foremost, place a spoonful of icing on the cake board or cake stand. Then, spread it a bit. After that, place the first layer of the cake. Do this to make the cake stick on the cake board or cake stand. Step 2. Afterward, spread a thin and even layer of icing or buttercream frosting onto the top of the first layer. After that, spread the icing of the cake evenly with an offset spatula. Step 3. Add the second layer of the cake over the first layer with icing. After that, frost the cake with the remaining icing completely covering the cake and garnish your butter pecan cake with the remaining toasted pecans. Step 4. Lastly, you can serve the cake immediately after decorating your cake. However, it is best to chill the cake in the chiller or fridge for at least 30 minutes before serving. Remember, chilling the cake firms the frosting or icing that makes it easier to slice. Also, chilling the cake makes it taste less sweet, allowing the butter pecan flavors to come out. Tips and tricks. Greasing the cake pans and dusting them with flour prevents the cakes from sticking and makes them easier to remove. In addition to that, you can use parchment paper. With this, place it at the bottom. For this recipe, make sure that the eggs are at room temperature when added to the cake batter. Doing this will allow even baking. Moreover, add the eggs one at a time to combine evenly. Furthermore, to avoid making a mess, you should incorporate it evenly. Not only that, but also add the confectioner's sugar to the butter gradually using an electric mixer. Additionally, add the confectioner's sugar to the butter slowly in the stand mixer. Also, make sure that your butter pecan cake cools completely before frosting or icing. In addition to that, you can substitute pecans with walnuts or hazelnuts. Furthermore, to soften the butter, let them sit at room temperature for about 20 to 30 minutes. So with that, please do not microwave. Moreover, a scoop of vanilla ice cream with your butter pecan cake is a great way to serve your guests. Likewise, you may drizzle a bit of caramel sauce on your cake if you want. Besides, browning the butter is a great way to add depth and flavor to any dessert. Also, store your leftovers in the fridge. With that, place your cake in an airtight container for 3 days. When serving from the refrigerator, allow the cake to sit at room temperature. Make sure to do this for about 15 minutes before cutting and serving. Similarly, store nuts in a sealed container and put them in the refrigerator or freezer. Keep in mind that nuts contain many fats, which means they can spoil easily. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.